For starters, for day one, we had our own little choice of who we're going to start off with, and we've both decided to go with Valor Ants versus nerdRage. And why do you think that was the best team to go with?
Well, I think honestly, like both the teams look really, really similar in skill level. I think they're like right below the two top teams we have in the tournament, Ascent and Seven. I think right below that we have this tier of like 3 teams of Valorant, Six, and nerdRage, who I think are all capable of beating each other, but I don't think that they'll be able to beat the top 2 teams.
About this particular matchup in general. Now, Valor Ants, they need a little bit of an introduction, Wandum, because some people might sense that they're familiar, but the name might kind of draw them astray. Why should we care about Valor Ants?
Well, I think you have to sort of, if you look past, I think for this tournament especially, you kind of have to look at the team rosters more than you should look at the team names, because a lot of them won't actually be that recognizable. But Valorant especially is essentially just the Aura Electro team that has existed for ages, except maybe Yeehor isn't playing, but like other than that, I mean, it's basically Aura Electro.
Like you said, this is our first map, Reckoner. I'm going to try and pull a prediction out of you. Despite what you think might happen in the actual game, what do you think the scoreline is going to be?
I think it's going to be pretty close. I think it's only... I'm going to hope it's like a 3-2 or something.
I'm betting on my boys. We're going straight into it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Critscast, it's Lockdown, Throwdown, it's your boys, TurboTabs and Wandum, and Wiethoofd as well on that production, and we're going straight into it. And Elacor can't be having that too much of a good time. He started off this map with a poor rollout.
Yeah, that is pretty unlucky. He does hit that wall there, but they are actually choosing to go on the enemy side right now. Soldier just bombing across. Nothing quite happening yet, but there we go. That's a bomb in out of nerdRage. Nothing's really happened. It's only Josh and Amrock going down. So right now, Demul... We've actually just traded sides right now. The red team is on the blue side. The blue side's on the red side because we don't like being clear and concise right now.
Yeah, Eskimo is posturing for the idea of humouring a jump, but it's a bit hard with that scout pressuring on that high ground. So he's just going to go back, re-heal, and it's all down to the Demoman trays to see if they can open things up here. And I don't see any sort of hook, line, and sinkers from either of these teams, so they're going to play it steady, but they're losing ground slowly. There's the Eskimo jump. He finally comes in, reinvigorated from that health pack, and the dominoes start to fall one by one, but can they start getting some of those red dominoes? They will actually pop up an Uber during all that long exchange, and Shock didn't manage to build his Uber in time, so it will go the way of my boys, Valor Ants.
Yeah, so this actually isn't as bad as it would look for nerdRage. They did lose their medic, but at the same time they also managed to get out the force, so it's actually only like a 5% difference in the Uber charges. And with Yeehor coming up on Enju, like they do have enough time to sort of set up on last here. I don't believe that Aura would be pushing out here. It doesn't seem like it's that worth it. They wouldn't... You kind of need an Uber advantage to push this last successfully. When you just don't have that. The Engineer up already. That's a sentry. Josh is on a banner as well. They're looking to just slow this game right down. Josh builds up that banner. Makes the post Uber much better for his team.
Well, we're at that part of the game now. It wouldn't be Reckoner if we didn't have a bit of a stalemate at last, and if we didn't have the possibility of the nice little jump that you can do as a demo man, that nice double sticky. I think a certain Swedish demo man made it popular, works every time, 50% of the time. Is he going for it?
Yeah, he's actually going for it right now. He's just jumping in.
Right on script, he gets the drop as well.
He doesn't get anything. He gets an engineer.
He gets an engineer. I'm getting excited, okay? I'm testing out new technology here. It looks like a medic to me, but it's an engineer. Embarrassing. I apologize, stream.
He killed the dispenser, but he did actually
that's
go down.
Kind of medic.
Yeah, but he does go down there, right? So that gives nerdRage kind of an opportunity to press a little bit of an advantage, get some forward space for Kunu, who is on sniper. But honestly, like, look at Kunu's sniper sightlines right now, TurboTabs. They're just horrible.
Yeah, you take what you're given, and right now, let's see what they can really conjure up, and they're trying to weasel their way in here. They're aware of the snipers there, but be damned if they can actually get past the body shots of the man. So they're going to push his way out now. He's used his fully charged body shot just to kind of push them back. Can't really guarantee a headshot that way, so he's going to look for a different sight line, maybe in this corridor way. And oh, there we go, finds the head onto Amarok, and with Eames going down as well, that's a big pick. That's a big couple of picks that they can definitely make a push off here, and even with Kuno on that sniper.
Yeah, Amarok's Eskimo, sorry, he's actually gone really low. That's another headshot onto Nevo, and that means that I was going to call them Aura, but Valorant just have no position on second anymore. Without that Demo Man, they do not have enough damage. Losing Nevo as well. It's going to be horrible. And honestly, Nevo's going to spawn 5 seconds. I am going to be so surprised if he doesn't counter-snipe here.
You know, it's rather tragic because I've only just understood why they called themselves the Valor Ants, because there's that fancy video game out right now. Hey, slow old man reactions. I think dispensers are medics. I'm not picking up on the team names. I'm just falling apart here, but they're looking good. They've managed to make the push out, and it's a one small step for Valor Ants to start converting into this round, which, need I remind you, no round has been captured yet between either of these teams.
Yeah, right now nerdRage is just kind of waiting for Seeds to walk into Kunu's crosshair. Like, even if Kunu picks off a different player on Valorant, like let's say he just gets a soldier pick on the flank, it only really lets him get onto that flank and go for a shot onto the medic. Nothing else really happens unless he gets a kill onto Eames or onto Seeds. And that's, like, pretty hard to do because he has to go in and peek through cargo. There's actually Soldier Amarok bombs right in, gets absolutely nothing. Kunu does get a nice little headshot there, but that's Eskimo actually caught out on the flank. Demul gets that kill. So now, maybe nerdRage is going to be looking for something that's 2 players down, probably looking for a sack. Maybe actually they're just going to go in for a trade hit.
Yeah, they want to hold the doors closely, and they want to hold it so closely they pop their Uber over on Valor Ants. God, that's really difficult to kind of process. I want to say Electro, but no, it is the Valor Ants, and they've wanted to hold the doors closely there because we're losing both their soldiers. They couldn't really do a sack play and kind of bait them into the fight there, so they thought it was probably a closer thing to just trade off the Uber, kind of keep them coming in immediately, and then just deal with the Uber once the soldiers come up. But I guess this is more of a plan B rather than that plan A that fell apart there.
nerdRage actually aren't moving on this Uber rad yet. They're giving Seeds plenty of time to get his Uber back. He's already at 70%. Normally, if you were watching, like, let's say, Scent, they would have been pushing far in already off of that ad. They did get a really nice trade onto the enemy medic, but it looks like they're going in right now. Only kills being found are Eskimo and Amarok. Only the soldiers going down. Now Seeds is the one with an ad. Looks like Valorant. They're just going straight into the Uber. Popped out onto Eames, but the banner comes out in return. Now both soldiers, they're taking so much less damage. But Eames actually managed to find Shock. Elikor goes down as well. That's a medic walking out of cargo. He isn't dead, and Sorex has found another kill onto Yeehor.
Oh god, they're falling apart at the seams here, nerdRage. They haven't managed to cap the midpoint as well, so those reinforcements aren't going to be coming anytime soon. The only person that's alive over on nerdRage is Kunu, who's caught in the behind enemy lines, having to deal with a soldier, or is the soldier dealing with him? As he will kind of poke about and annoy Eskimo, but I don't think Eskimo's going to give him much time of the day.
Yeah, I mean, Kunu right now, he basically just has to try and go for some sort of kill. He's stuck behind. Like, honestly, at certain points, you should just kind of kill bind. Because right now, he's just losing 1v1s with Eskimo. So now he's dead. It's a 1 pick, but the ad is there, actually. This is pretty bad for nerdRage now that I'm looking at it. The Uber's just going to pop right in.
Alright boys, they've used the Uber and they've managed to take out the sentry gun. Confirmed that is 100% a sentry gun, and they haven't really pressured anything past that. There's no one to really jump on. They will find a bit of soldiers hiding in the wings, but they've come back from resupply with not only reinforcements, but a heavy weapons guy with 1 HP. 1 HP warrior holding the line there. Yeehaw is truly showing off his prowess on that heavy weapons guy.
They actually managed to get Shock there, so that means that Seeds has found himself another advantage. Luckily for nerdRage, it's only about 35%, so it's not that big, and on a really big map like Regina, where there's a lot of ground to cover,
they're going under, they're going in dry, baby. There's no time to waste. They might have captured second. They've sent a soldier, that's Demo, trying to get an early pick onto that medic, but he will not give him the time of day as well. So just as quickly as it was taken away from them, they get it back over on Valor Ants.
Yeah, that is pretty nice. I mean, the Ubers are actually suddenly they've exploded. It's now a 40% ad. Maybe Valorant just going to want to go in here once again. The sentry is up, but that's Eames kind of watching the jump. He's walking onto the point this time, looking for a lot more point presence. The sentry is taken down, but right now, the players have really been found. That's Eames going down to the heavy, and that should just spell the end of the push. No Demo Man right there to kill the heavy just makes it so hard. Josh gets a kill onto Seeds as well. It's actually not done. That's Kunu cleaning up 2 more kills onto Sorex the Eskimo, and now it's looking scary.
They're looking for
Valorant right now.
Yeah, it looks like they're going for that back cap play, or they're going for a pick onto the medic. Either way, they were throwing bodies around enemy lines, and Nevo is actually still there, and he will get cleaned up, being checked upon by Kuno. But I think it just went a bit pear-shaped at the start of that Uber there. Eames got knocked back, his jump really didn't start off the fight well, and he was there too busy diverting all power to take out that sentry gun that he had nothing left to really lock down the area.
Yeah, that is pretty scary right now. Eskimos go down as well. Nevo, in classic TF2 fashion, has timed out and immediately rejoined the game. So that looks like Valor Ants are just going to give up mid. But now, finally, Nevo's on Sniper.
Yeah, it's a good thing he's on Sniper as well, because they have got a full Uber advantage over on nerdRage now. He's going to have to make a miracle snipe, and I don't think I see it coming out from him. Ooh, it's close. They're aware he's there, but can't really find the sightline onto him, and he's going to stick about with it, even with the scouts looking down the barrel of his gun, and there we go, he will change back now. They're making this push into last. They have got an Uber charge now ready and waiting for Seeds and company, but they're still going anyway, and they've managed to get in quite scot-free. They've even taken out a soldier for free as well, and they've pressured everything. They've even taken out the sentry gun before the Ubers have to pop. They've made them pop Uber here, Wandum, and they still haven't used their Uber. Sorex is desperately trying to get something, anything. He will get a kill, and the kills are coming out now. What is this? God,
that was really badly played by Valor Ants. I don't know what they were doing, and now they're just bringing it back, TurboTabs.
Oh, woe is me. I bet nerdRage were patting themselves on the back so much for holding the Uber during that entire fight, and it came out with that starting pick from Sorex, and the dominoes fell one by one. And now they've got an Uber, but for the life of them, they can't defend mid. They haven't got enough bodies. Or have they?
I mean, Demul's actually just going to go in right now, but it turns out they're just going to try to take 1v1 for the other soldiers. The Uber comes out of shock, but now Seeds this time hasn't been forced. They do lose both Solis, which is a little bit scary, especially on Wreck in a second. Actually, that's a lot of firepower. The ability to hold the high ground you no longer have, so it looks like Valor Ants, they're not really going to try to hold second. They don't have the bodies to do this.
The posturing,
but they're actually just going to go in. I really want to talk about that second hold before, but I'm not allowed to do it.
They're still going in. Eames has been dropped though, however, during all of the fray, and everyone get on your horses. You need to get back to your poor buddy Seeds, and maybe they'll hold on to the second point, but they actually respect it. They go back, they lost a few players then, and they want to calm things down over on nerdRage, and I guess it's the sign of the times. You're right, they do like to play things a bit slower than usual.
Yeah, like throughout this season, they really weren't the team that wanted to make plays themselves. They always kind of capitalize on their opponent's mistakes, but right now, it seems like they're doing exactly that. They do have a 50% ad, which means they will be standing on the point already, taking second as they are moving into lobby.
What's wrong with just popping your Uber, like, after they pop theirs? Is it really that bad? Do they really justify having to back out all their players unnecessarily like they did earlier? What was wrong with just popping in a bit earlier?
I mean, I think it depends on the situation, right? Like, honestly, a lot of the time when you pop your Uber, it just, like, it's all about, like, whether or not you have to, because obviously you don't really want to pop unless you have to, and right there, Shock eats a sticky, or a pipe, sorry, he goes in with the Uber. Actually, Eames has gone down here. It's looking pretty good. That demo is super important when you hold last, but Ellicor has gone down in return. Amarok does go down, but the Uber has come out of the enemy team. Seeds did pop that counter, but everyone on nerdRage died again. It's just Yeehor and Shock walking back out into Toxic. Aptly named after one of the Brits standing in there.
Hey. And yeah, easy second point of their lives, and if it wasn't for that early spam onto Shock, who knows how that push might have turned out. But they're making this push into second now, and oh my god, Eskimo just got melted there. He kind of just peeked around the corner for half a second, and a couple of flummoxed rockets later he went down. So they're not going to dare humour the idea of going in dry anymore. They're going to build that Uber, but nerdRage are building that Uber just as quickly.
Yeah, at this point, like, even though there's a 10% ad for one team, that 10% ad is absolutely negligible. Oh my god, that's a word. But it looks like, actually, Valor Ants, they're playing this really passively. They do have the bodies, they do have the numbers to contest this, and they're not really doing it. Amarok's gone down, and with Demul and Josh on the point there, they just have no space.
Oh, Neva went down during all that as well.
Yeah.
He disconnected, so I guess this is why they had a little bit of a pause earlier, and why they gave up second so easily as they did. But we're back to a familiar place where they're back at last, and they've got a sniper looking at a random sight line, and they're going to go for the old demo jump and 2 stickies, and instead the medics are too wise now. This is 2020. Everybody knows about that trick. He's already in the spawn before the demo man's even into the walls of the last point. So with Elacor down, that's an opportunity for Valor Ants to make this push out.
I really like that. They sent in Demul as well, sort of a little bit of distraction, a little bit of variation onto that, which honestly is a really standard play onto Reckon a Loss, that demo, like, sticky jump. We do see it quite often, especially higher up when demo men sort of get a little bit better, learn how to time that sort of sticky bounce in the air. It's called pogoing or something. I should know.
Oh no,
this.
he didn't even pogo. He just went for the classic 2 sticks on the floor. I was like,
well, there we go. That's why it didn't work, TurboTabs.
Oh right, yeah. Not enough style points. That's purely how the TF2 gods decide your fates. As we're just playing things all steady. Eames holding the line, holding that big door as well, expecting the demo man jump to happen. But who's on here for someone to make a play here? Do you still keep throwing in Elacor, hoping it works, or what do you really like to do at this last point here, Wandum?
I mean, right now, if you're Valorant, you don't really want to sack in a player. It's in the enemy's prerogative to push into you. If you sack in a player and you lose a player, it gives them an advantage to the team that's trying to push in and win the round. So you'd much rather just wait for the enemy to sack. You can just sit here forever. Because honestly, what favors them the most right now is a round reset, unless nerdRage make a mistake and they sack in a player and they don't get anything for it, and they lose like follow-up plays. Even if you get a single pick, even if you sack in, like let's say Demul goes in right now, it's not that big. You have to like sack in a demo, lose another player for Valorant to realistically want to do anything.
Yeah, it looks like Demul's looking around these doors. He wants to go in and find an opportunity, but he's not just going to go willy-nilly. He's going to find the right conditions, the right timings, the right buffs as well, as he comes and gets buffed up by his medic. And Shock is feeling a bit more abuse, but they're going with the Elacor jump again, and this time they actually they actually get the force onto Seeds. I had to double check myself there, make sure if it's okay, and Seeds will be just fine. But they did lose quite a lot of players for that force there. You could just call this a good old-fashioned good Uber, because they've managed to push out with it, and they've got the second point. Now they just have to deal with the push of nerdRage.
Yeah, that was almost really good for Valorant, except the fact that the players are just going to come back up, and it gives nerdRage just plenty of time to repush. Valorant have to play that super passively. They actually managed to get the force out. That was really nice by them. Getting that kill on Takuna as well completely shuts down that push, and that makes it so that Valorant right now, they're pushing into middle already. The Uber advantage is back in Seed's hand after that pretty terrible Uber trade. Well, Uber pop in. Hamrock has actually gone down to middle. It doesn't look like the aggression's coming out.
Yeah, it's they're trying to get in, but they're just being denied by these soldiers over on nerdRage, and they will lose too many players for their liking. They will decide to back out now, and it seems neither of these teams can really crack their Ubers correctly. They kind of get a little bit, but not enough really to justify and keep the snowball going. They just seem to be seesawing back and forth.
Yeah, this is what we've been seeing a lot recently in this season, is that like newer Team Fortress 2 knowledge is that holding is 10 times easier than pushing. Pushing takes a ton of coordination in your team, which is why teams like Ascent and Seven are so good, or in this case the Buckworld or whatever they're called.
Oh no.
It's because you build up that synergy, and that means that plays like that where Demul kind of just walks in and looks at the other team while they shoot him and kill him don't really happen the same way. Like, sacking in players in situations like this is so much easier when your soldiers have time to build up synergy. And that's something that the top teams have that I don't really think either of these teams quite have.
Yeah, it's got to be a real pain as well. If every time you get a pick, Eames has to do a quick scout of the area, checking one corner, checking another corner for any sort of random stickies that might catch them and with their pants down. And it seems like they're going to go with the binoculars play. The sniper's popped out for Demul. He's on his main class. Let's see if he can find that pick that he's looking for.
The thing about this sniper is, if you look at all the sightlines he has, pretty much all of them are hero shots. Meaning that whenever he goes for something, he's putting himself out of position, but it doesn't matter if he just gets the medic.
Oh my god, like a ninja, drops down, gets the pot shot onto him, and it was a body shot, it's all he needed. Easy peasy lemon squeezy for the Frenchman, and now they just need to start clearing off these stickies. They can even get ambitious here and start to push in without having to use the Uber, and they'll do just that. Hero Shot has come and saved the day, and maybe he might still have a few in him. Let's see if he's Superman or if he's just everyman.
Now all of a sudden the sniper is way worse because you no longer have that ad. Sharks, for some reasons on sniper there, I really dislike sniping when you're trying to do that because all of the time the medics will be popping in, but the Uber does come out. But the players actually, there's not enough space taken on this point quite yet. The sniper's doing basically no damage. The Moon hasn't hit a shot as Amarok actually just goes down to an arrow from Chuck there. Finally, that's Kunu getting a kill onto Eskimo as well. There's so much cap time on the point. They aren't quite there. Both the scouts are so low. And finally, Kunu with the cleanup. One round. That was 29 minutes. That's not 29 minutes. I can't count. 19 minutes for the first round.
Man, that was a long, agonizing round, and he had to play that so patiently as well towards the end. I could see the scouts, the glimmers in the eye. They want to get in that last point and just sack their lives, but they thought with Demol and Sniper, they need to preserve their lives and just draw out the fight, and doing that did win them that last point. As we're going over to another mid, Eames is showing Elikor how it's done, turning up promptly on time and getting a lot of pressure out starting off this mid. But for the life of him, can't really connect too many of those pipes. But the soldiers and the scouts are doing a good job of connecting the crew ground that they need to cover. If it weren't for the scouts actually turning around some of these kills, but because of the ground alone, they will hold on to this mid.
Yeah, Eskimo just kind of walked into the enemy cargo there and pretty much pulled back the entirety of nerdRage. There wasn't really a lot they could do, but they're walking right back in.
The chariots
really being found. Ooh.
The chariot scouts, they're going in. They haven't quite got Uber yet, and now they're like, oh no, we've lost the horse, boys. Yeehaw out of there. Get out. As Elikor is brought down to minimal HP, will get out with a sliver and manage to hold his life. And with both Ubers now over on these teams, they're going to go with the slightly single-horsed chariot. Sorex gets an easy peasy kill onto Elikor. That's a nice pick to start things off. They will even force out the Uber as well. And they get out. They're going to start rotating, make the second push happen on this flankway, which has already been started by Nevo, and they've managed to get in successfully, even get a pick here in two, and they probably might have aspirations of pushing straight into last here, Wandum.
They get that kill onto Elikor, but importantly, he's actually back up alive. He has a lot of work to do here. He's pretty much the only one able to put down stickies on the point. He has to hold it off. But look at how far back they are. The sandwich already forced up Kunu. He's not doing any damage. All of Valor Ants just on the point, and Kunu's just having lunch.
Well, you know, what can you say? Like, picnic aside, maybe they'll still make a comeback here between both of these teams. It's certainly sitting at 1-1 apiece, and it is not too much time left on that timer. That's 8 minutes. We're getting into the crunchy part of their lunch, and it's going to get a bit scary from henceforth. And Eames decides they switch roles over on these rollouts, going aggressive off this left-hand side, and they're trying to find the soldiers kind of poking their heads out first. That will be Josh. He will go down, and they still have to deal with the second soldier. There we go. Both soldiers controlled with. They just need to kind of blob up here and run over the rest of nerdRage. But nerdRage, they're making it difficult because they've got Elikor on this high ground.
Yeah, Elikor on that high ground is just completely shutting down Valor Ant. There's not really much they can do. Only, like, not having your soldiers there just makes it really hard to fight. They don't have that splash damage that the enemy team kind of does. When they are on the high ground, the scouts just shut down everything with the demo as well. So right now, it is even. Demul died and respawned on snipers, looking to make the magic happen once again. But going back to the point is that it shouldn't work because he has to go for the shot where if he doesn't hit it, he's dead immediately. And it's the same if he peeks any other angle, which is why, honestly, Sniper is not that good because 99% of the time, Seeds has his hands on a WASD and he doesn't die like that. But he's just going to go for it, please. Oh my god, okay.
You're begging, you're bargaining with the Sniper, but you can't seem to quite find the shot for now. And yeah, it seems like we're going to be waiting patiently. Sadly, he hasn't gone down for taking the drop shot. He's just going to keep doing it over and over again. He's got a lot of cover in the form of his team, making sure he's alright. So I think he's going to be a sound puppy for now, but there's still, the shock value's gone from that Sniper, and it's going to be hard from this point on for Demol.
You can actually see Seeds behind this truck sort of send out healing beams. You can't actually see Seeds himself. Gets that body shot. But Seeds is just hiding.
Try saying that 5
times. There are some clips of Seeds being dropped in crucial situations in the past. by a sniper TurboTabs.
You cannot see seeds. If you want to see seeds, you want to see the seeds with snipers.
That makes sense.
Alright, so Eames holding the line, still got a glimpse of that sniper, so I think it's more Eames' life is on the line compared to Seeds at this point, as they're just waiting for the sniper to make a play, and, you know, if you get a bit of probability involved here, eventually, you know, come rain or shine, the probability of that sniper getting a headshot is higher the longer he's in this game, and there you go.
There you go.
That's just basic probability right there. There's that probable headshot, and now he's probably going to have an easier time finding another one now because they're one man down.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He gets the kill onto the soldier, but that just makes it easier for him to kill.
Maths. If you'd
Never
like to turn up to my online, you know, math TF2 seminar, you can Zoom me after the games, but he's still poking about, and it's probably going to get a bit harder now. You've got a bit of respawners coming back, and they actually have backed out a second completely, so another hero play coming out from the hero sniper himself, but he has the opportunity to go for more headshots here, and he's feeling good. Confidence is a big thing for a sniper.
Yeah, a lot of it's about getting on the streak, but they forced out the medic there when they got that keen kill onto Eames. So they're actually going to get the sentry gun right off the bat, but right now they're not. There we go. Eskimo's actually bombed down. There's no heavy on this Valor Ant side, but that is Elico going down. Evo goes down as well. However, this is getting pretty dire for the side of nerdRage. They haven't been able to find the important kills. There we go. Eames going down. That's Kunu and Yeho on the point. Nobody really there to test him anymore. Third round coming in for nerdRage.
They make it look so easy, Wandum. I think the idea of just taking things patiently, taking it a bit more passive and slow is really working wonders for them. The scouts are just not feeling pressure to go for that point play immediately, and the soldiers really just want to feed their lives in, it seems, over on Valor Ants, and they're going to have to make a game change here if they want to defend these last points. As we're going into another mid, Yeehaw already taking center stage on this high ground. They value it highly on nerdRage. It seems like the game state win for this mid, and they're going to fight tooth and nail to try and get anybody off it, and I don't see any too many picks coming out past the soldiers, with both of the soldiers going down, and yeah, that's going to just kind of auto-win the mids for them, and the scouts are trying to get the pick onto Shock with all the chips falling over onto the floor, but they're not going to take him down. That's an uber advantage as well, maybe even a converted round if it wasn't for Seed to keep himself alive there.
Yeah, Seed's not dying there is super important, but you still have to look at the time. There's 4 minutes left on Reckoner. From what we've seen in this game already, it's going to be really hard for Valor Ant to come back into the game. Nevo's actually spawned on the sniper here, but when you send in, you lose your soldiers like that on mid. Send your scouts behind as well. As soon as those soldiers go down, they don't make any space. You just have to get out. Seeds recognizes this. He gets out. He's known as the medic that just leaves immediately as soon as he thinks the mid is over. He's played too many pugs to stay in. That's a soldier just sacking in. Demur does go forwards. Almost gets that kill onto Eames. Amarok's actually really low as well.
Yeah, but they won't find any picks out of it, and they're actually humouring the idea of pushing out here. Nevo still rocking that sniper, seeing if he can get picked, but the scouts will spot him first, and now his life is 10 times harder than he had hoped for. That they still want to make a go here with a soldier down, or player down I should say. They could make the play. Eskimo's going to jump in instead. He's on top of Shock. Does actually force it out of him. I think if he played a bluffing game there, he would have survived, but he didn't want to dare risk the whole air shot scenario, so will pop his Uber, and now the advantage is in the court of Valor Ants.
Yeah, Nevo was actually looking at him through under as a sniper there. He was about to get body shot, didn't pop that. It was probably good on him. Nevo also currently looks like he has the FPS of a slideshow. A nice little Microsoft PowerPoint. But yeah, I mean, his team's going to push out off of that force, but Amarok's gone down immediately. Losing a soldier like this is not what you want. Josh goes down in the meantime, but that's the Uber force. That's Seeds. 50% add here. Demur gets a pick onto Sorex. He's got to walk back out. He's like a cheeky little boy. He's like laughing. It's like, ha ha ha. I can't snicker properly, but you know, you get me. There's a soldier actually, Eskimo, really low as well. Yeah. Comes up Toxic. He's stuck behind. He's actually just going to bomb in and gets nothing because the scouts are looking at him, and it's just depressing.
It's a shame as well. I feel like Eskimo is kind of the whipping boy for this team. He's gone down a lot, and he is a lot. Seems to be the often picked lamb for the slaughter. Speaking of lambs, one goes down. Amarok's with both of the soldiers down. This is going to be an easy peasy push for nerdRage going in, and even pop off the Uber just to get things started. And they can play that point. It looks like it seems the condition is soldiers down. Play that point.
Yeah, that is just they get the kills. Nobody's there on the point, and they've secured this at this point. There's 1.5 minutes left to get 2 rounds, mathematically impossible. I think it's like the shortest, if you have people capping the points immediately, is like 1 minute. Or like 50 seconds or something like that, and they just don't have enough time, even if they spent 50 seconds per round. That's map 1 for nerdRage. They do take it. It was really close, but it looks like just towards the end, towards those like clutch moments, the Moore just came in, pulled a game out of his... I wanted to say a bad word there. I'm not going to. Out of his behind, we're going to say. It's this mid.
Oh,
stuff is happening. Eloquor hits an air pipe. I was waiting for that to happen.
Man, maybe you can tell the mental defeat on this team, because going into that mid, Eloquor was actually pounding. He was connecting so many pipes that he had no justification really getting these pipes onto them. But yeah, you're right on the dollar. They're going to walk away with this first map, the first set of points, and the first guarantee that they're going to get a nice high siege going into the playoff stages of this whole lockdown throwdown. But it is just one map. They can still tie things up here going into our Sunshine map, which should be starting somewhat soon. I could even dare say 30 seconds time.
Probably a little bit longer. They
okay,
are
probably a bit
swap
longer,
the maps,
but
you know.
the map's going to finish in 30 seconds.
Go for a
you
break.
catch me, drift.
One of the magics of TF2, and casting TF2 specifically, is that the players have time to go for P breaks, but we don't as casters. So you just kind of have to hold it in. Or if you're like Eepoli, use a bottle.
Wow. That's a bit of trivia I did not want to know. Okay, well. This game's pretty much over. We're probably going to grab some logs as well, because it wouldn't be a good LAN if we weren't overanalyzing over the raw statistical numbers, and we'll try and get that to you as soon as possible. But, oh yeah, well, actually, as soon as possible is right now. I've got the stats right here in front of me. What stats do you want to know, Wandum? What do you regard your players in highly?
Give me the biggest damage number. What's the biggest number?
The big damn is actually coming out from the hero himself, the sniper extraordinaire. It's Demul. 91% of the time he will get that headshot, and he's booking at about 8k damage. Let's see how much damage of that was sniper rifle. 3k of that was sniper, so he was having a good time with these stalemates. It will be live relatively soon, so again, I'm going to have you repeat your prediction to me one more time. Who's going to win this Sunshine map?
I think we will be getting a really close one. I'm really hoping, 2-1. Let's go Valorant. I think they can bring it back, honestly, despite what I've been saying. They should be able to bring it back in the bag, as you've been saying as well. Sunshine should be a little bit more comfortable for them. I have faith. I've watched Eames fail to push last for like 30 minutes a couple of seasons ago, and I think he's learned from that.
All right, boys and girls, put your hands together and bless and have faith. Pray that we give Valor Ants that second map that first map they're desperately looking for, and we're going into it, ladies and gentlemen. It's Valor Ants versus nerdRage. It's TurboTabs, Wandum, and Wiethoofd in this lockdown throwdown, and it's Sunshine, baby. And the sun shining is on Eames right now, and nobody's really stepping off the mark. Everyone wants to play it quite cool. Eskimo is actually playing it less cool, as he will go down, but Amarok is going to equalise with not only 1 kill but 2 kills, and there we go. That's the mark for Demul to go in and start getting his own double kills. And god, the soldiers are doing a Valorant job of actually making a game here.
I'm actually really surprised that Sorix and Seeds went that far back. Felt like if that had been called a little bit better, that Neva was that far in, they could have gone in. There wasn't any heals on the point. They could have taken down those 2 players with those 2 scouts. 2 scouts is really powerful, as there's just a lot of firepower between them. The shots come out quicker than if you're a soldier. They're also just easier to hit. You don't have to predict where the enemy will be in like 0.5 seconds, but rather just where they are right now. Amarok is actually just going right back in through Cafe. It's a nice little rocket there onto the scout, and soldier does go down. That Sorry's going down as well to move. Another nice little 2k. And that completely shuts down the push. They do still have ad on Valorant, but Eskimo's gone down as well. They're 3 dead. And suddenly they're getting pushed in despite having the Uber ad.
Yeah, Sieves is desperately calling his team back, wants to keep his Uber charge, not even a chance of dropping there. They still haven't quite got the Uber available for nerdRage, but they should have it now, and they want to push in, kind of get them before they start setting up, but they're having a quick peek first, and they will get Sorex and his sentry gun to boot, so this is a nice start here for nerdRage, an excellent start. They even get a soldier as well, but they're losing a bit of players one by one, and as the timer ticks out slower and slower, those reinforcements are going to come back. Oh, they lose somebody to the sniper. They get some point pressure, however, and Josh, he actually manages to keep himself alive and got it brought down to the wires here, and just pressuring this point one by one. Eames is brought down so low, will keep himself alive, and there's Sorex, the first one to die, but the last one to get the frags.
I hate the sniper on Nevo with a burning passion. He's trying to hold last with players running into him, and he could have been so much more effective even if he just stayed on scout, but no. He has to go for that sniper play, has to get the funny headshot to Kumu, and yes, it worked out, but it was not as clean as it could have been. Could have been way more effective on a different class. They are pushing out, they are onto second. Demul does sack in, doesn't get anything. So now, we're sitting on second. Ubers are even. Demul isn't even off-classing.
Yeah, I feel a bit of a glimpse of brilliance, though, coming out from Sorex there. He just kind of re-enters the fight and turns the tide immediately. Maybe we might be shaping up to one of those trademark Sorex takeover games where he just goes absolutely ham.
This is the return of the pasta scout that we've all been waiting for, where Sorex just presses W and he has pasta brain, and it's really funny.
There's no land rockets here as well. That's the antithesis of the pasta brain. Oh, there we go. Eames actually goes down. It's actually pasta being thrown from the British way. Kuno's going to take out that demo man, and both Ubers have been exchanged. Sorex is trying to chase him down, but he's but an Italian man. He can't shoot through invincibility. They're trying to deal with the rotations here between both of these teams, and they're holding the line just a little bit, but they're losing a bit more bodies on the side of Valor Ants, and they're going to be forced to go back and actually eat a few pipes as well before.
What's the British version of pasta brain? Is it like Yorkshire pudding brain?
Tea-brain.
Tea-brain. We can roll with that. I'm actually really surprised that Valorant managed to get out there. Yeehor won in with a really nice flank. Fortunately, didn't quite hit his shots. He just got shot right back out, which was pretty unlucky. But Demul, TurboTabs, use on Spy. And Streamer, play Spy, smiley face.
And not just Spy, but the Eternal Reward Spy. Isn't that the
it has actually been changed. I found this out mid-cast, as you can actually disguise with your Eternal Reward now.
But doesn't have a penalty of some sort.
Yeah, it, like, takes all your cloak, but I don't think Demul cares, actually. He just doesn't even care about the disguise.
Yeah, he's just
not fooling anyone.
He's going to do it right in front of his eyes, face stab, as a blue spy. I can't imagine a fate worse. But Seeds, he's a player that likes to stay by that door. Look at him, he's literally in the doorway. He has to physically block him, I think, Demul, if he wants to get this stab. But keep in mind, the watch is so loud. Oh no, he sees him! He was like, what? Who's this blue player uncloaking in front of me? The cheek on the Frenchman trying to get that up, and if it actually worked, I don't think I would know or understand TF2 anymore.
Yeah, there we go. Demul does go down. It was a valiant effort, but, you know, doesn't quite get there in the end. Seed stands so far back, and it's just incredibly difficult to go in for that spy backstab. Demul's actually on the sniper this time. He says, okay, if Seeds is just going to stand there AFK, I'm just going to try with a different class. As now, funnily enough, Seeds has rotated over to where the spy would be way more effective. Eskimo's actually gone down, but it shouldn't be that big of a deal.
Yeah, the first shot is going to be the most shocking for Demul. Let's see if he finds it, and he's going for the first peek around the corner. Spots an engineer, gets the body shot, doesn't quite find the killing blow though, and he's going to take another stab at it as his team is trying to make space for him, but the space they made is in the resupply. Josh has gone down to the Evo counter sniper despite Wandum's non-recommendation, and we're going to go for a little bit of a mini push out, but I think they're going to think better of it as the chips settle.
Playing sniper when you're holding like that is completely fine. My problem was that he was playing sniper while his team was fighting and holding last in close quarters, where the sniper is absolutely not useful at all. But yeah, I mean, here it's fine. Eskimo is just going to keep like trading his life, and it honestly completely fine. The enemy team, like, the blue team won't be able to do anything if Josh just keeps getting counterpicked like that by Nevo. So right now, they're just in this stalemate where nobody's really able to make any sort of moves. Both soldiers just trading back and forth. Both Irishmen, but that's Nevo.
Damn,
With a
he's just
headshot
like,
to Kunu.
it doesn't even look like he's pressing the button. He's just swiping over them, drawing over them. I want to go this guy and this guy and making grand gestures like he's playing fucking Wii. All right.
What Wii game?
What's nerdRage? He's
He's playing Wii tennis. He's like,
Wii tennis. Oh no! Oh no! Well, he's been boxed out of there, served. Other Wii Sport games, I can't remember now. Was the jet ski that one? I think that was in the later one.
Oh yeah, the Wii Sports Resort. I never got that game. That was too late in the life cycle. I was an absolute master of golf in that game. But you know, Eskimo's gone down as the sentry's actually going to get taken down here. Yeah, that opens up a lot because suddenly soldiers can bomb in way more effectively. It's just Amarok holding us really close, trying to deny everyone.
I think Josh does want to jump in. He's calling for a buff and he's checking his corners, but Nevo's threatening him again, and it seems to be Josh's kryptonite right now, and Demol is trying to be his kryptonite's kryptonite. Will take out Amarok, who's entered the fray, and this gives a bit more space with Demol, but it's going to be hard. Counter-sniping is always going to feel that pressure, even if there's a huge divergence between the sniper skills.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I feel like this is fine. It's just they're trading blows. Nobody's really able to get the upper hand there as the soldier Eskimo bombs in. Almost gets the kill. That's both snipers really low. They're just going to buff back up. Try once again. They can... This, honestly, it favors Valorant because right now they'd much rather get a free ticket to mid instead of just a ticket onto second. Ooh. But there we go. Josh is actually in. Gets the force out of Seeds, and all of a sudden, this is looking way worse for Valorant. They're not even able to get into second at all. They can't get a force out here. Shock. It's at 90% advantage right now, and suddenly it's looking dire for Valorant.
It's a shame as well because at the same time they got Demol down in that lower area, and if there's any opportunity to try and go for a force, it would have been them, but they feel like they're much more comfortable taking the 6-man defense against the Uber rather than throwing one player out there. So let's see what they have cooked up for nerdRage as they start making that push in right now. The Ubers have been popped early on Kuno. He's on top of Seeds, but will manage to rotate his way back in. They have got quickly taken out the sentry gun. They have to deal with the stickies on point now. Here comes the counter initiation coming out from Valorant, and they've thrown a few bodies there, but they've lost a few to the meat grinder. The scouts are the ones that have to do the heavy lifting from this point forward, and there's just too many bodies being thrown at that tiny point. It will go eventually to nerdRage.
That was really close, actually. Elicord going down there towards the end looked like it spelled the end of the push. Without that demo again, there's so much damage your team doesn't have, but luckily for nerdRage, Valorant weren't quite able to get on the point. They weren't quite able to kill Josh and Kunu to get that first round. We're now onto the second mid-fight of the game. This time it's only been 10 minutes instead of 19. Looking a lot faster. Both teams just not really doing anything quite yet. That's actually Eskimo onto the bell tower already, just scouting out Josh. Does take a really nice rocket there by Eskimo. Almost goes down. Demul's on the bell tower, gets taken down as well. Eames is dead. Demul does find that one rocket onto him, but Eskimo, that's so much aggression.
Josh,
all the posturing
he's
out
coming in
of
from
there.
behind there. He gets this rocket. He misses the second one, gets the third, and will kind of turn the tide a little bit of that mid there, taking out the medic at least. They won't quite win mid, I think, but they'll win the chance of claiming back this round.
So that saves so much because Shock actually went down as well. So that means now we're in a situation, pretty much just a reverse situation of where we were before, where instead of Valorant holding last, it's nerdRage's turn. But both teams are going to have even Ubers. Nobody's really, like, it's in Valorant's like prerogative to push forwards, but it's going to be really hard. They're actually trying to contest second here. They're getting forwards, but that's the Moore going down already. With Elicord this far back, he's actually doing so much damage there. Josh goes down, however, there's two soldiers. This is looking really scary all of a sudden for nerdRage.
It's a shame as well, because Josh had a kind of a nice little mini flank over on the enemy team there. They will have to just pick up the pieces with this heavy weapons guy, but he's being the only one focused. There's nobody to really throw bodies at the point as well, and they're desperately trying to deal with it now, but they're paying the price. Or should they? Are they paying the price? Nobody's taking
Shock
any
hasn't
damage.
been building.
Josh has managed to weasel his way back out though, but there's still, again, not enough bodies for that point. Oh, it hurts, and it's going exactly like the last pain session and that last map. It's a quick round response coming out from Valor Ants.
That was really well played. They got those 2 soldier picks. Exactly what they needed there. They decided to push off it. Normally, I don't even think... I think if you give that advantage to nerdRage, they're probably just sacking a player. But there we go. They actually managed to get in. That early kill onto the Yeehaw Heavy was so important. That damage just completely taken out of their hands. So now, third mid time.
Oh, both the soldiers going for a big flank play. Actually, they're taking circuits around the map, but nobody really wants to take the fight head on. Oh my god, Josh will take the fight! No, sir! No bombing today. He could have maybe even got the pickaxe onto Emerald, but yeah, he was none the wiser about that soldier there. He gets some precious intel, though, allowing his team to maybe clean up that kill, and during that time, Amarok has managed to distract them long enough for the rest of his team to come back in, and they're patting Amarok on the back now as they've managed to get on top of that point, pressure out some of these players, cut them off from the medics, and oh, the Ubers have actually exchanged. It's time for the mid-fight part 2, as both Ubers are kind of just grinding up against each other. It seems like Valor Ants want to get out and respect the Uber a lot more, and nerdRage are giving them a reason to keep going with these fights. And Deemel's in, he's cut off this demo man. This is like D&D Fortress. Oh no, we're going straight into it, and Kunu will actually turn around. Anime Betrayal will get the turnaround kill onto Nebo instead. It was a fake C all along, and Eskimo gets lays out a nice little foundation of damage. Everyone's just gone absolutely apeshit and just ran into the blender of fire. Nobody wants to give up this fight. And, well, I say that, they're actually giving up the fight over on Valorant. They will back off Seeds. I don't think I've ever seen Seeds just man up in a fight. At least not in this game. He always preserves his life so heavily, and they're already straight to last. They've got a scout on point. The stickies aren't ready. They're being prepped now, and both the soldiers are dealing with him. But Yeehaw is just running circles around them, not only fragging, but getting some pressure on that point. And they just kind of made a stop there. I thought they would have kept going with it, nerdRage. Oh, they've lost Elacor.
Oh no. So all of a sudden this goes from what seemed like a pretty decent push, actually, kind of unlike the nerdRage I'm used to seeing, where they push off that tiny sort of player ad off of the respawners not quite being in position in time. They do go in, almost get it done, but it looked like half of their players were in, half of them weren't. So now there is a force on to Seed, so he does have this ad. Shock didn't pop that entire time, so maybe this is just Josh calling that entire thing. He has the biggest brain ever. Maybe it's actually... I don't know any Irish chess players, but let's just say it's like Magnus Carlsen playing.
I mean, they have an Irish chess player of their own, you know, you got Eskimo. Maybe he should be able to see some of these players come in. They pop in the Uber nice and early, take out that level 1 sentry gun, and they're cutting off the spawn doors all nice and tight, and they are really heavily relying on that heavy weapons guy to get out that one door, but it's just too slow, and the rest of the team can't really follow. It will be an easy peasy second round for nerdRage, even though it's getting a bit on the longer side for these rounds.
Yeah, and at this point, I'm expecting nerdRage to try and slow this right down. They have a round advantage. There's 15 minutes left. That means that they can, if they win this middle, or even if they just don't lose it heavily. Their plan for this middle is don't get wiped. As long as Shock lives, it's so fine for them, because they can just run down the clock, stall for ages, and they're going to win eventually.
Oh, big bombs coming in from the soldiers. The scouts don't know which one to pick on first. They will pick on Josh, but with all that space bought, is the dust going to settle the way of Valor Ants? And yeah, the scouts are actually doing all the heavy lifting here, and because things just went so atrocious in the skies, they will just back out that mid.
Yeah, and honestly, this is completely fine for nerdRage. Yeah, sure, they're back on their last, but all of their players are going to be back up in time. Shock is going to have an Uber, and they should be able to hold it unless somebody goes in and presses the W key, which is the most not nerdRage thing of all time, then they should be fine.
We'll see. Again, in good fashion between both of these medics, they do have their Uber chargers ready and waiting. But again, you're feeling a bit maybe pressured if you're over on the side of Valor Ants. You are round down, and you're starting to maybe feel the squeeze of the timer a little bit. You want a bit more time to kind of get a bit cushion time to get the winning round on your team as well, not just the drawing round. So they're going to feel pressured here, and they want to just make things happen, even if it's the correct decision or not.
Yeah, that's actually soldier bombs coming in. That sentry just shuts him down. Eskimo It's absolutely nothing done. Josh is on a banner. He's on the battalion's backup. It's one of the more recent TF2 meta revolutions. He's gonna find... Oh, they're actually pushing in so far forward. Sarex, he just wants Josh. When sees his old team leader is like, I want to kill you.
Oh, and,
as he just goes down
dead.
in the process.
Yep, that is that past the brain. He really wanted that kill, but they just kind of trapped him and slowly cut off his only way out. And Demel is going for another play. Hopefully this time he'll learn the skies. Probably not. He's just maybe he's just playing the security camera, having a look through this little lobby area, seeing what they got. He's got to be careful he doesn't bump into any red players, though. Yeah, he will have to back off.
He's probably just going to go right back onto the soldier here, actually. I thought he was going to go sniper, but I guess not. Kunu is on it already. He has to keep this right side covered because it is one of those areas where you just have a sniper. It's actually pretty easy to just buff up like 4 players and just rush him, get a couple kills, and then suddenly you're just in onto the last. But right now, okay, you're going to hate me for saying this, TurboTabs, because it's the most boring player in the game. But right now, like nerdRage, they don't even want a round reset. In this situation where these 8 minutes run down, they would rather run back out and push second because they don't want a mid-fight to happen, because a mid-fight would be more coin flippy than just capping second.
Yeah, but surely they have control of that, though. nerdRage can just be like, no thank you, we'll sit here at our last, please.
Then they lose.
Ah.
So here's the thing, like nerdRage, they're going to want to pop in, because if they push in, you know, like eventually the timer's going to run down. If they don't do anything, the timer's going to run down anyway. They might as well push if there's like 30 seconds. In that case, nerdRage are just going to want to cap it. Like, I meant, obviously, of course, meant Valor Ant in the last 30 seconds. They're just going to want to go for it, because the worst thing that can happen is the round resets, right? But in that situation, they don't actually... Valor Ant are the ones that want the round reset, not nerdRage, because they are around up. They'd rather just sit there and wait.
I mean, we're talking like we've got only 2 minutes left on the clock here. This is talks of 2 minutes, but 11 minutes, I think at this point, I know there's 9 minutes left in the round timer, but I don't think that that's going to kick in anytime soon. I don't think any of these sorts of meta players are going to be on the back of these mines. Right now, they're just going to give it the old college try and see if they can get a pick with the sniper. And nope, he sadly will get picked by a sniper. So Nevo's going to be outsniped, and let's see what he decides to go with. Does he pick up the sniper rifle again? Maybe second time the charm, or will he actually switch off here?
I mean, I think we're nearing a situation where I'd rather... Right, so I think, honestly, right now... Okay, Nevo is going on Spy. Probably just checking off classes.
Nope. He's
left spawn. Okay, so he's on
there.
Spy. I said I kind of wanted that, but at the same time, if he doesn't pop out his head soon, come up on Sniper, I think nerdRage should start to expect that he is on the Spy. Sorry, but Kunu on Spy as well.
Yeah,
so he has probably just seen...
He's definitely checking. I think he must know that he's a spy.
Checked it. There we go. He's been called out, and suddenly gets really hard for Nevo.
See, the play here would have been to send someone back at spawn. Both of you play spy, and then they're like, "Oh, well, it's not working." But that's 4D chess, next level brains, alongside with allowing them around or not, or allowing them a map point, I should say. Oh my God, Nevo, I think might have been clipped there.
Yeah, look at Kunu right now.
Oh
like, even
God.
though he's not shooting him, he's just walking around, shooting everywhere close to his medic. Nevo just can't do anything. There we go.
They did.
Yeho maybe ult. Oh, maybe it's Ace. Hello?
Maybe. But they're just going all the way under. I don't think they know about this little push here. They are spamming it, but they don't know that everybody's coming out of that little orifice, and they're just going to get the second one for free. A bit weird.
Josh is like 2 HP right now. That's pretty scary. But yeah, they do get this cap. This is just more time on the board for nerdRage, which is exactly what they want. They can now set up on second. That's a banner actually popped out of Amarok. Looks like they're going to want to use this forwards. The banner's popping. They've spent so long doing nothing. Finally, he jumps in. Oh no.
I think I know what happens here. Like, you know when someone pops the banner, you hear the noise, but they haven't let go of the button? I assume they must think that he was doing that, but he was like, no, team, I really have just popped the banner. You need to go in. And they've kind of overstepped their mark a little bit. Let's see if Josh and his battalion's backup can show him how it's done.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably just going to use it post-Uber. There's no real reason for him to pop it right now. The ball is entirely in Valorant's court if they want to do anything. That's a nice little kill onto Yeehaw to start things off. And 2 players in Cafe. Actually really low, but it looks like Valorant. They're finally coming in onto second.
Ooh.
That's an Uber forced out of Shock. But Sarx has gone down. Amarok is 12 HP, gets taken down as well. 2 dead for Valorant now, and it's only Yeehaw dead. Looks like nerdRage. They've just held this. They're going to go forwards. Now the time is here for the banner. Just going to move into Flowers. You should pop this any second now, please.
Actually, I don't think he... Has he popped it? He doesn't have a reason doesn't have a rhyme or reason to actually use it. They're just walking in for 3. The scouts are just, again, just shooting pot shots at them. They're not feeling any pressure at all, so... Why does Josh have to use that banner? He's just walking in. The threat a bit alone. Okay, he's got it now, but he's taken too many fat, meat grinding damage, and he'll go down before he even allows to pop it. And this is a dire situation. I mean, you'd think it would have gone the other way, but they've managed to just weasel their way in and get some picks anyway. They've got Eskimo trapped in this forward spawn. He will rotate back for that last defense, but what a sad state of affairs, Wandum. Fluffed left, right, and centre.
Yeah, Seeds actually got taken down by a really nice bomb coming up Demul, so that gives Shock a massive, whopping 100% advantage. He's going to take this right in. Sentry isn't even set up yet. Building that is questionable in and of itself when you know that push is coming in immediately. Shock actually is taken down right now, so it's no heals. That's actually really good for Valorant. There's Kunu taking down the point as well. There's no presence on it. Demul is so low without a medic. There just isn't enough health. That bomb in from Amarok does so much work. It doesn't kill anyone, but there's enough damage to follow up. And now Sarx, he's got the pasta on his mind. Penne, cannelloni. What do you want? Bucatini? Spaghetti? All of them.
I'm more of a penne man myself, but I think big ups to the soldiers for Valorant. They're keeping that point clear, and not only that, but keeping these chokes on lockdown as well. The reinitiation might have hurt just as much as the starting fight, as they want to hold on to this, it looks like, nerdRage. They've got the respawn advantage, and they will pick off players here and there despite holding this point from an arm's distance, but they're still making a go of it, and it's Eames, nice little pick off and cut off from onto Kunu there. Sorix is going to overextend into that choke and get that Josh pick as well, and he's feeling himself. He wants to kind of hit it where it hurts, and it hurts where his old teammates are. They're going to force them out, and Amarok will die to a random pipe that gives confidence back to nerdRage to come back in, and we're seesawing back in, and Uber's been exchanged during all this. Shock's going to have his Uber soon as well, but they don't have enough trust in the Sorix brand to force him out. They will back off instead, and now they've got a big heaping nerdRage problem with an Uber debut. Eskimo looks like he wants to go for the back cap here, okay.
He actually doesn't have time for the back cap. I don't think he's on the pain train. He wouldn't have been able to get it anyway, but he's just in behind. Might have actually been spotted, but Eames going down on that.
Oh, he was going for the forward camp, but he kind of gave his position immediately though, and trying to ransack that forward respawn. Maybe he just didn't calculate the forward respawn.
Do you know who I just saw join the server?
Who?
It's the one and only world-class nutting Ant, who is Azunis, has joined us instead of Eskimo. Does come in. This is the soldier they've been playing with the entire time, but there's an Uber exchange going on right now.
Oh my god, and yeah, I guess they've decided to just book it. They've gone out and they haven't really got a fire. I've crashed, so I hope things are going well.
Oh, yep, so we do see, actually, the medics have been traded out right now, but Seed's going down as well. Josh just tries to take a 1v1, but that's Amarok getting the kill. It's only Elikor alive, and he's 19 HP on this middle. Not really able. He's back all the way out to his cafe, but Shock actually spawns earlier than Seeds, giving them a little bit of an advantage. 20% roughly speaking. It's not that bad, honestly. Like, it's not anything you can push out of, but it does slow down Aura Electro a lot. They aren't called Aura, they're called Valor Ant, I should remember. But actually, they're just pushing in off this anyways. Only Azunis forward, not with his team, but Eames finds a nice little sticky shot onto Yeehaw, and now, all of a sudden, that kill onto Yeehaw. Dumul is going to just try to go in. That's Eames is completely caught out alone, does get the kill onto Dumul. Doesn't go down himself. Elikor gets taken down by Zunis all of a sudden right now. It's looking dangerous. Suddenly, it gets really scary for nerdRage. They're going to back right out. No Elikor means no second hold. All of a sudden, special on last. I can't use that anymore. That inflection has been used too many times. I'm actually just going to walk forward here. There's a sentry gun taken down already. Eames poking it, but I don't think he shouldn't go forwards anymore. He's just padding his log a little bit. There's 3 minutes left. This is looking pretty scary right now that I have to go in sooner rather than later. As Zunis is so far forward. There's actually a sentry gun going down, but Zunis doesn't really get anything else. There's a lot of damage done, but I think that's about it. There's no real trade is coming out on the other side. There's no sack. There we go. Demul jumps into lobby, but I do think we should be calming down a little bit. But Valor Ant.
Have I made it just in time? Yeah, I've made it just in time for the C'est La Vie, the second round, potentially on the board for Valor Ants. They've got a new soldier, they got a new lead in life, and oh god, Sorex is actually, he can't even weasel his way out. The scout's blocking him. Oh, sad days to be a bastard scout, and he will go down. nerdRage, they're holding this to the wire. The wire is about 2 minutes right now, and you got to be feeling that squeeze if you're over on Valor Ants. You don't want to just play to draw, you want to play to win, baby, and this is going to be hard. They have some golden cap rules that are a bit scary to play here over in this lockdown throwdown. They're going in with a good huzzah. Amarok goes into the sentry gun, will get a lot of damage done, but doesn't really find the kill, and they take out the sentry gun when all things are said and done, but it's not what they were hoping for.
So I think normally if there was more time on the round there, I think nerdRage would have pushed. Getting those 2 soldier kills is grounds and reason enough to push, but because of the time left, there's a minute and a half left on the clock. It's actually just 2 minutes. I'm rounding down a little bit aggressively there, but now we're putting it in a position where even if they cap this round, we have to win it immediately if they want to go. They're going to have to get the round right now, and they're going to have to get a follow-up round just like that, you know, go quick, fast. They want to get this without the golden cap, which is, as we've seen so far, it's proving exceedingly difficult. They are getting in onto this left side, trying to get that sticks onto the point. Nobody's quite actually contesting it. Demul's solo gets taken down, but Amarok is dead as well. Right now, Josh just hiding behind the point. That's Nevo on the point. Nobody's contesting it. As soon as it's on the paint train, but the Yeehawk crits from the something that I forget, the Frontier Justice, takes him out. It's 3 dead, 1 minute left. This is scary.
They've got an Uber ready to make this re-push in, but they are not only just trying to get the cap, they're trying to get it capped quickly to allow another round, and nerdRage are just going for every sort of delay tactic they can think of. Battalion's backup is being held by Josh this time. No spam rockets are going to catch him off guard. As, oh my god, that is not a good start that you want to start off with Sorex going down. They're really going to have to just point pressure this, and they're getting a lot of good damage and loads of kills, but I worry that it's taking too long. And they actually have got a heavy weapons guy on this point. There's 2 players left, and they could probably chip him down one after the other if they take different ways. That Amarok weasel his way around the corner and will get the cap, but we have to look at the timer, and in spirit they won the round, but they've lost the war here, Wandum. It's gonna, well,
they haven't lost it quite yet. It just makes the war a little bit longer. There's 12 seconds left. There's no real time for another round. We are going into a golden cap here. TF2 version of overtime, where it will be, pretty sure the format is 15 minutes person at the end, while the caps, the last point gets it, or holds mid at the end of the 15 minutes. So
yeah, let's see who's going to take it away in this round. Do you have any predictions here, Wandum?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, honestly, I don't have any predictions. This is a dice roll.
Dice roll? I think I've got the answer right here. Got one of those magic 8 balls, and is Valorant going to win? No, don't count on it. Oh, no. Oh, no. Let's hope.
TurboTabs, you cursed them.
All right. Oh, dear God, I didn't think about the implications here. We're going over to a mid. Please, Twitch chat, give your energy to Valorant. They need all of it, as they haven't got the magic 8 ball energy. And Eames has started off with a nice, somewhat fast rollout to get things going, but they've mirrored each other, and they won't spot to start off with. He gets some nice damage going into this golden cap, and it's a bit scary. Josh doesn't scare, though. He's like, who's playing the golden cap, lol? And he goes straight in, dies immediately. Oh, no, Shock has gone down.
They listened to me.
but they killed Seeds as well, so both of the win conditions for the entire round has been taken out between both of these teams, and with the dust settling, it's gone into more of a deathmatch DM brawl, and Elicor's being bullied by scouts that are trying way too hard, just like in DM fashion.
Yeah, I mean, both the scouts on Valorant lived, which just means that because 2 scouts in the enemy team weren't really up, it just made it pretty much impossible for nerdRage to stay in. But as I said, both medics died, which is really cool because they listened to me. They're watching the cast, they're learning. As you said, you learn so much about TF2. Just kill the medic forehead.
Yeah.
Best advice I could give.
Oh, that's the reason they learn at LAN, because they just listen to the casters. I like that train of logic. Okay, so they're checking their doors, they're checking their little doorways. At this point, you know, I mean, in theory, they can hold on to this mid. They have the winning condition in their back pocket, but they want to give it a go here. Azunis caught a little bit in no man's land, will manage to weasel out of it, and it was all a distraction play for Amarok to get a jump onto Shock, but Elicor's going to pick him out of the sky, and now it's a free reign for Demol to start poking, but we'll think wiser of it and we'll go back, and it's all on the core player here. Josh seeing if he can get some good damage, and he will actually be damaged upon. Oh no, they lose Kuno as well. That's 2 picks. Easy for Valorant to turn this into a second point conversion. That second point, a bit hard to hold, but we'll see. They're pressuring them out with Stickies alone, and yeah, they even got the kill onto Demol. Ooh, no, they're gonna force! Oh no, disaster play! Shock is got no Uber now, and they not only have to worry about second point being captured, but they might just get forced all the way at last without even having to prepare for it.
That is so big from Azunis and Amarok there. Getting up force under Shock means the world to them as they finally get that ad that they have been looking for. There's a heavy up on Kunu. There's actually no sniper at all. What I was talking about completely nullified right now, so they're just buffing up. This is Valorant's round to win at this point. They can push in, and there's still 12 minutes left. They finally come in. Uber's popped out, TurboTabs.
Yep, they've used taken out the sentry gun quick. They've got the heavy kind of under control, although he was a mere distraction, and he's still alive. He's mincing everybody else, and while everybody was staring at the heavy, they didn't predict all these players come out of the nooks and crannies of last point, and Valorant actually being beaten upon here. Nevo wasn't checked in that corner, will quickly get reacted upon by the entire squad and blob of nerdRage, and things are turning around here. My magic 8-ball might be magical after all.
Yeah, now, because of that botched last push, Nevo's actually still not alive. So even though Caesar's 85%, they probably have to end up giving up this midpoint, which, as we explained earlier, if you want to win this golden cap, you just hold this for 11 more minutes, but that's Yeehor going down. Josh is taking some damage, but look at Nevo! He's so far in, already Elico just gets shot down. They haven't even capped the point yet, Josh is taken down. And now, they had an Uber ad, and they did absolutely nothing with it. They ended up losing 3 for nothing.
He's cutting off the medic. Oh, he misses his shots, however, he didn't quite predict the medic to go as slowly as he did. And they still want to keep going with it. Soros is in, and he's going in relatively for free. There is a sentry gun up, but it's going to be taken out really quickly. It's a level 1 sentry gun. They're already on point. They have to pop the Uber just to defend the point now, but they will respond. Nicely milked by Seeds and company, and they're going to have to do a lot of heavy DM lifting here to kind of turn things around. But again, picked off one by one, and there we go. There will be no timer invoked. It will be a good old golden cap of the last golden cap, and it's 1-0. It's a game. It's Valorant. They got it. Magic 8 will be damned. This is going in the bin.